Hello and welcome back, my Royal Rogues. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Royal Rogue. And tonight we have the news that Harry and Meghan are seriously thinking about a reality show. And I've been saying this for a long time, since last year, but at this point it has become even more urgent for them to come up with anything to revive their brand. Because when you think about it, they have burned all the bridges already, especially after Spare and the horror mentory. The fact that any activism is coupled with severe hypocrisy, constant lies used to boost their brand. That's why they are considering this urgent injection of authenticity. Netflix is upset because they don't think the Bad Manners thing could take off, for reasons that I already explained in yesterday's video. But for a reality show, you don't need any talent whatsoever. That's the trick. Why do you think those Real Housewives shows are so popular? Those women have absolutely nothing interesting besides their lifestyle. The big problem is that Netflix is growing impatient. They have been trying to push the Monte Shit Show morons for some time, but remember that Meghan fired Liz Garbus when she suggested to film the horror-mentary at her home. What happened in the end? That they ended up filming in a rented house. And that aligns with both reports and rumors that they are not really living at the Montecito mansion. That's why Harry spends more and more time at those hotel rooms, and Meghan even sent that thank you card. Meghan's representative sent that thank you card from a San Isidro Ranch address. So the issue is that Meghan and Harry don't want to do the reality. They had that option last year, but money is running desperately low by now. But where are they going to film the reality show if for all these reasons it's obvious that something shady is happening with the Montecito thing? I'm going to be direct with this question. Are they really living in that house? Don't you feel that it's at least a bit suspicious that a narcissist like Meghan doesn't show off her 16-bathroom crib? You see all these other influencers and celebrities filming themselves making pancakes. Do you believe for a minute that Meghan is different? Denizens all over the internet have already begun to connect the dots and realize that there are enough clues that the Tuscan style of the original Montecito nest doesn't match the style of some of the intimate moments presented in the Netflix horror-mentary. It's precisely for that reason that we saw so many low-resolution photos and videos of those episodes. And don't you find it strange that they have never broadcasted or filmed at their office in a long time? They used to host Zoom calls, meetings, even promos to projects that never saw the light of day. But all of a sudden, I think the last time we saw that office was when Harry went full orange. And take a look at this. I couldn't believe my eyes. I'm checking the Daily Fail, and it says that Meghan's resume from her old days has resurfaced. And I said, well, I'm gonna take a look. And by the way, that picture in the file, well, I have to say the photographer did a very good job. You can imagine my surprise that I'm checking this paper, trying to figure out if it's legit. It says that her height is 5'6", or roughly 167 centimeters, and then at the end of the page, I got this. Fluent in what? Fluent in Spanish? What the Hilaria Baldwin is this? I find it hard to believe that Mega Liar is fluent in Spanish, especially because Spanish for an English speaker is excruciatingly difficult. By the way, if that's your case, my complete admiration for you. And there's also this article that I mentioned a couple of days ago, but there's one thing I failed to address. Meghan Markle's fashion icon status makes her a designer's dream partner. Yeah, according to the crazies at Newsweek, Meghan being a fashion influencer is definitely a thing. The good news is that the fashion industry already knows how to deal with any collaboration with the Duchess of Sausages, in the sense that she can be really invested in her job as an influencer, even taking some of the work home. They just want to prevent that last detail. Oh, Meg, always misunderstood, hardworking, self made millionaire. But in the other end of the spectrum, there's this narrative about Meghan being deeply affected by all these cheap shots from media executives. As Evans E says, they really think the new PR stunt for saying Meghan Markle has been in a mental breakdown is going to convince anybody. Her case is like the girl who cried wolf. She's lied so many times, we can't tell when it's real. And it's so laughable because this is the kind of arguments they include in the fashion influencer article. Meghan is rebuilding both her life and career following such a traumatic few years with the royal family. She's branching out in new directions, chasing long lost dreams and making up for lost time, celebrity stylist and royal fashion expert Miranda Holder told Newsweek. Meghan is high profile internationally, looks great, as of course does her husband Prince Harry. What? And adding the sartorial string to her career bow would be a clever move. Just slay, Queen. Rocca's mom on Twitter couldn't say it better. Former fashion and lifestyle blogger, the Duchess of Sussex, she took pride in the fact that she didn't employ the services of a stylist, instead taking responsibility for her own personal appearance as she began a new royal life. Yes, that's very clear. And talking about hard questions and possibilities, we got a solid movement asking for Lieutenant Colonel Johnny Thompson to be the next James Bond. But I don't know, we had already seen him in a suit before. Maybe the photo is a bit blurry. I wanted to make some kind of artificial intelligence magic, putting him on a smoking or maybe getting out of an Aston Martin. But I had second thoughts because I know from his body language that he loves his job, but he doesn't like the public exposure much. Either way, I found one of his cleanest close-ups for your viewing pleasure. And the rumors also say that the royal family is shaking in their boots for a supposed memoir from the Duchess of Sussex. Do you really believe this? Prince William and King Charles are said to be keeping their distance so as to not provide the Duchess with any material for her book, as trust remains at an all-time low. There's not a lot of trust left to allow the family to maintain a good and open relationship, the insider said. How do you speak openly without it ending up in volume 2? I don't know, I've got serious doubts about this. And I want to present you this writing from my good friend J.E. May. Monday is done. Did you have a rough start to your week? Perhaps you were the lucky one. At least you weren't the one who picked up the phone at WME this morning and heard the shrill shriek of a wounded woman in Montecito whose punctured pride and pretension lay shriveled on the floor at her feet. In news that quickly went viral, Hollywood head honcho Jeremy Zimmer seemed to take the part of a modern-day brand banshee signaling the death of their dream of entering the entertainment elite class, a come down for the Sussexes and the humiliation of a Harrington. The ensuing exchanges must have been painful. What do you think about this? I would love to read your opinion in the comments. My Royal Rogues, if you want to support my channel, all you have to do is click the like and subscribe buttons. That's it. It's free. And remember the two most important words: much love and bliss.